I told this girl one time that I was working 4 hours per day on the business, and she told me that I was working too hard. And in the same sentence, I remembered how I told another friend who said, "Hey, you're not putting enough hours into the business." So in this video, I'm going to talk about what does the input-output equation actually look like in the early stages of the business. And I'm going to talk about the 4-4-4 rule. And this is how I split up my day. For the first 4 hours, I do lead gen. So first 4 hours, I'm either DMing, I'm doing cold calls, or creating content or running ads to sell my business. The second 4 hours is me fulfilling to those business owners what I promised them. For me, this looks like video editing, copywriting, and shooting. The last 4 hours of the day, I typically use to make sure that that first 4 hours was properly done. Because we're humans, 9 times out of the 10, we underestimate how much something would actually take. So first 4 hours, I'm letting people know about my business. The second 4 hours is fulfilling on that business. And the last 4 hours is a little bit of a leeway. You can figure out what the next step for the business, reflect on what you did in the day, or make sure that those first 4 hours are properly done. If that's all you want to know, that would be it. That would be the end of the video. But if you're curious of what the last 12 hours of my day looks like, and what this looks like tactically, and putting this into procedures that you can actually follow and stick to in the long run, stick around. So the last 12 hours of the day, I optimally and ideally, I want to do 8 hours of sleep. I want to do 1 hour of eating, 1 hour of grooming or getting ready to sleep, and 1 hour of working out and and driving to somewhere. So it's eating, working out, and grooming, and driving there and back to where you need to be. That would be the last 12 hours. And you might ask, where does family and friends fit into this schedule? Well, to be quite frank, that's what I'm sacrificing right now. And this is a schedule that has allowed me to get from ground zero and absolutely having nothing to having a baseline to work from and think about scaling in the long run. And I'm talking about something that has worked for me. And if you're in your early stage of business, you probably should do it too. But I'm human. So what happens then, because I still go out. I still hop on the phone and visit family and go out on dinners with friends and my relationships. And that means that I have to sacrifice one of those variables. And that variable, as you would already expect, is typically going to be sleep. And that's when I said optimally I would love to get 8 hours, 1 hour of eating, 1 hour of working out, 1 hour of driving there and back, and 1 for grooming and getting ready for sleep. So let's just say that you do all of those. You do the 12 hours and you're prepared to sacrifice sleep once in a while to make up for your relationship, but you also know that you're in a season of sacrifice, that you're okay with sacrificing those. What this looks like tactically for me is just like how people doesn't stick out with their meal plans or workout plans is accountability and tracking. What helps me keep on track to what exactly I said, because what I said, 12 hours worth of work, 12 hours of making sure that I'm ready for the next day worth of work, great, right? But I'm human. And this is the part that is actually the toughest and where I am right now. So I usually track hour by hour while I'm working, what I actually got done. So at the end of the day, I exactly know what I did and what I didn't do. And also if I actually did that 12 hours. So just to recap so far is that on that 12 hours, I usually have hour by set the day prior, and I track those 12 hours if I actually did them in the first place and what I actually did within those 12 hours. So, but that being said, I'm not perfect. I most of the time can't even reach the 12. I get close. I get 10, 11. That's just my focus. And it has improved in the beginning from only being able to do 4 the first couple months. Second month, I'm able to do 6. The last month, I'm able to do 12. And so, if you're not doing those and you're already tracking it and you're going hour by hour, and if you're still not doing it, and I'm in this stage, you have to look at what are those variables that you can observe that either enables you to work the 12 hours or doesn't, or goes against you to be able to work those 4 hours. And that's honestly tough, and this is gonna vary person to person. And you have to look why aren't you doing it? Is this important to you or not? Or having an accountability partner helps out a lot as well. But that being said, that is my work plan, and that has gotten me from ground zero to being able to stand on my own feet and think about the next level of scale. Summarize in a back of napkin so you can remember for when you're looking back onto this video. It's going to be 444. The first 4 hours of the day is lead generation, getting a business. The second 4 hours is fulfillment on those business. The last 4 hours is making sure that you did the first 8 hours. And as an extra leeway to think about where you're heading next and what you're actually also doing for the next day. The back end 12 hours is personally you. You're probably going to be more efficient and more effective when you're able to get 8 hours of sleep. You're able to eat properly. You're able to work out. And you're able to groom yourself. And with that being said, be prepared to sacrifice your sleep when you want other things in life, like going out, seeing family, seeing relationships. Be prepared to make that sacrifice. And then lastly, how does this look like so you can actually stick with it in the long run? And track it. If you actually did the 12 hours, track what you actually did in those 4 hours. Plan the next 12 hours the day before. And if you're not doing it, get an accountability partner. There's a reason why business coaches exist. There's a reason why personal trainers exist. That's why a lot of these accountability systems is put in there, because we're humans. You put all these things together and you still don't do it. But that's it pretty much for me. That's the 12-4-4-4 rule that I'm running right now that got me from absolute zero to the first few $1,000s that I'm able to look into the future and actually scale. And that is it for me. That is a 12-4-4 rule. You should spend your first 4 hours of the day doing lead gen, the second 4 hours of the day fulfilling those services that you promised. The last 4 hours is making sure that you actually did